Have you ever had someone show up at your doorstep, absolutely furious, because you wouldn't let them have the family heirloom they felt entitled to? Yeah, I hadn't either, until my quiet life was turned upside down by a woman who thought that a few years of friendship gave her the right to my late aunt's diamond ring. Stick around to learn how my inheritance became the stage for a battle over family, loyalty, and the kind of entitlement that could drive someone to extremes. I had never planned on returning to my small hometown of Willow Creek. Life in Portland, working for a growing startup, was everything I dreamed of. That is, until one Thursday afternoon I received the call that would change everything. Mass layoffs had wiped out my entire department, and suddenly, my comfortable life in the city vanished. But as it often goes, life has a way of redirecting you to where you never expected to be. And for me, that redirection led me back to Willow Creek and the house that had once been the heart of my family, the house that once belonged to my aunt. I never expected to inherit Aunt Lucy's house. After all, she didn't have children of her own, and I hadn't lived in Willow Creek for years. She'd been like a second mother to me, but I never imagined I'd be the one to take her legacy forward. When I received the news that she had left me the house, I was shocked. "You were always the one who understood what this place meant to her," my dad said quietly, as we stood in the living room of my aunt's house, sunlight filtering through the old wooden blinds. I couldn't help but think back to the summers I spent here as a child, playing hide-and-seek in the garden, helping Aunt Lucy in her kitchen, and getting lost in her sprawling collection of books. This house wasn't just bricks and mortar. It was a piece of my history, my family's story. But not everyone seemed happy about it. My Aunt Lucy had one close friend, Evelyn, who had practically lived at the house in recent years. Evelyn and my aunt had been inseparable for as long as I could remember. I could see why my aunt had left Evelyn a few items in her will, old furniture, a collection of vintage jewelry. But what I didn't expect was for Evelyn to show up at my doorstep, demanding that I give her the diamond ring my aunt had always worn. "You don't understand, Sam," Evelyn said, her eyes wide with an emotion I couldn't quite place. "That ring was meant for me. Lucy promised it would be mine one day." I stared at her, trying to process what she was saying. This wasn't a simple request. It was a claim, a demand that I couldn't ignore. "I don't remember her ever saying that," I replied, keeping my voice steady. "She never mentioned anything about passing the ring on to you." Evelyn's face twisted in frustration. "She trusted me. We were like sisters. You have no idea how much I've sacrificed for her. I practically lived here for the last 10 years. That ring was always meant to be mine." Her words cut deep, not because I didn't understand her grief, but because of the assumption that something so personal, something so precious, was automatically hers to claim. She wasn't family, she was a friend, a close friend, but that was different. I didn't want to make waves. I really didn't. But I had no choice. "I'm sorry, Evelyn, but the ring was part of my aunt's estate. It's mine now. You're welcome to come by and visit whenever you want, but I won't be giving you the ring." And that was when everything exploded. The next day, Evelyn showed up with her lawyer, and I had no idea what I was walking into. The man, tall, well-dressed, and entirely too confident, told me that Evelyn was demanding ownership of the ring as part of her emotional inheritance, and that I was morally obligated to respect my aunt's wishes, even though they weren't written down anywhere. I was taken aback by the sheer audacity of it. I didn't even know how to respond to that kind of entitlement. I stood firm, though, and said, "I'm not giving up the ring. It's my inheritance, and I'm respecting Aunt Lucy's wishes. If you want to go to court over this, then fine, but I'm not giving it to you." Evelyn didn't take this lightly. That's when she made a threat I never saw coming. "I'll make sure everyone in town knows what a selfish person you are. You'll lose everything. You think you can just waltz back into town and steal what's rightfully mine?" I was stunned. The idea of losing a small-town reputation seemed like a distant worry, something that couldn't possibly matter in the grand scheme of things. But Evelyn wasn't done. That night, I received a letter, officially demanding the ring, along with a list of reasons why she was entitled to it. She even included old photos of her and Aunt Lucy, as though they proved something. The situation was spiraling, and I had no idea how to stop it. In the midst of all the chaos, I turned to an old friend of my aunt's, Pastor Jim. He had known Evelyn for years and had always been a voice of reason during family disagreements. I called him and asked if he could help mediate a meeting. After some convincing, he agreed. The following Sunday, we sat down in his office. It was supposed to be peaceful, a way to calm the situation before things went any further. But as soon as Evelyn walked in, I could see the tension in her body, the way her jaw was clenched. "This is ridiculous," she muttered under her breath. "Evelyn," Pastor Jim said calmly, We're all here because we want to find peace, not escalate things further. I started by reading a letter I'd found in my aunt's drawer, one that I'd never known about. It was a note my aunt had written to me years ago, expressing her hopes for me to care for the house and the legacy she'd built. At the end of the letter, Aunt Lucy had mentioned the ring, saying that it would go to someone who truly understood its significance. "Evelyn, Aunt Lucy loved you and she trusted you," I said softly. "But I think you know she always thought of the ring as a symbol of the love we have for family, not a possession to fight over. She didn't leave it to you, she left it to me. I'm sorry." The air was heavy with silence. Evelyn's face softened, but the anger was still there, simmering just below the surface. For the first time, I saw her for who she was, a person who had lost someone she loved deeply and who was struggling to let go of the past. "I never meant to hurt you," she whispered, tears welling up in her eyes. I couldn't lose this too." "I know," I said quietly. "I know it's hard, but sometimes we have to let go." And that was the turning point. Evelyn didn't drop her demands immediately, but we came to an understanding. Over time, she stopped the legal threats, and we began to rebuild a semblance of friendship. Eventually, she agreed to visit the house, to come by as a guest, and she helped me sort through Aunt Lucy's collection of vintage jewelry, something she'd always loved to do. The diamond ring still sits in my jewelry box, but I wear it sparingly, only on days when I feel my aunt's presence the most. And as for Evelyn, we still keep in touch, but things are different now. We both know that what my aunt left behind wasn't just a house or a piece of jewelry. It was the memories we shared and the understanding that family isn't just about possession. It's about love, forgiveness, and letting go. The ring, once a symbol of a battle fought, is now a reminder of the healing process. It's in the small things, the quiet conversations, the slow rebuilding of trust, that true inheritance lies.